What's up, Jets Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicy Jet Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Rooney, and we are here for the second time previewing the Jets versus Dolphins Sunday, 1 p.m. at JetLife Stadium, and it's Rivalry Week. As you can see in my background, we got the Jets Rivalry jerseys. They're going to be wearing the ones with like the manhole cover, shoulder pad type looking things. It's that darker green color. Looks like the field's going to look a lot different, which is going to be really cool. There's going to be the skyline of New York City in the end zone. So it's going to be a pretty cool day at MetLife tomorrow, and looking forward to it. But today what I want to do is talk through this game. We're going to go news and notes from both teams, which include injuries, of course. Then we're going to go into some matchups to watch. We'll do 3 keys to a Jets victory, and then I will give my final prediction for the game on Sunday. So obviously this is a game that is a rematch from earlier this year, where the New York Jets lost to the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football in Miami. It was actually their rivalry jerseys that they were wearing when we were down there. And that game, if you remember, it sputtered right from the first drive, where we marched right down the field. Braylon Allen fumbles on the 1 yard line. Not even. It was like the half-inch yard line before giving up the ball. And then the Dolphins marched right down the field. Darren Waller crushed us with 2 touchdowns. Braylon Allen ends up getting hurt. Isaiah Williams has probably the worst game in the history any NFL player has ever had, and is now one of our better players, which is an amazing turnaround. Justin Fields had like a 50-plus yard run, so it was a really wild game down in Miami. And, the comeback was on, and we just couldn't make it happen. So I think we're a much better team than we were then, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this one plays out. Because when you look at both of these teams, like, this is going to be kind of weird, but these are the two of the hotter teams in football, which sounds so strange, and I get it. Both the Jets and Dolphins have not played anyone that difficult in terms of their schedule, but the Dolphins have won 4 out of 5. The Jets have won 3 out of 5. So it's a clash of the Titans. I think all eyes are going to be on Jets-Dolphins, because honestly, the Dolphins are kind of still hanging around in the hunt for the playoffs. We could end their season here, and then unfortunately for us, we need a miracle. So I think there's a bunch of different scenarios where we could get officially eliminated from playoff contention after this game, but we need a divisional win. We don't have any this year, and we got to play 2 other powerhouses in the next couple of weeks with both the Patriots and the Bills, who are desperate for wins because they're fighting for the 1 seed, they're fighting for the division, all that good stuff. So it'd be really nice to walk away from this season with Aaron Glenn getting a divisional win under his belt, before the season ends. So let's talk all about it. So let's start off with, I guess we'll go injuries, news, and notes. So we'll go through the Jets injury report here. A couple big ones. Jarvis Brownlee obviously didn't play last week because of his hip injury. He did not practice a single day this week. He is officially out for the game. With that, the Jets have elevated we have Dean Clark on the roster and Jordan Clark. So we have 2 Clarks that play safety. Dean Clark is the better one. Jordan Clark is the son of Ryan Clark, who was on ESPN, so you might be familiar with him. It's actually kind of funny. Jordan Clark, he played for the first time last week, mostly on special teams. He wears number 33, and he's got the armbands and stuff going on. He looks exactly like Jamal Adams when you see him out there. It's like very weird with all the armbands and everything. So you'll see him out there, and I saw Ryan Clark was very excited that his son's going to get to play. So Jarvis Brownlee out. What that means is you're probably going to get a rotation of one of the Clarks and probably Isaiah Oliver playing a little bit of the slot. It's going to be interesting. I don't love how it worked out last week without Jarvis Brownlee. I thought Kyle Pitts tore us apart, which is trouble. So, and now you got obviously Darren Waller coming in to play us. So yeah, that's a big loss, Jarvis Brownlee, and he's big in the run game too. So it's sad to see him out. I wonder if he's a candidate to just like sit down the rest of the year. I know we keep talking about it. It sounds like it hasn't really happened with anybody yet, that we're just like putting him on the shelf. But with not even practicing this week, it seems like a stretch to even push him to go down to Jacksonville next week. So that's number 1. Justin Fields, he is going to be out in this game, which means Brady Cook is the official backup. So if Tyrod Taylor goes down, it's going to be the Cook show. So we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't have to play in this game, because this is one that I actually want to like put up a good fight and see if we can win. But I'm very curious about this Justin Fields injury. They said it's like a sore knee issue. My thing is he just came off this like awful interview Justin Fields had with the media where they said, oh, if we wanted to use you in certain situations where he can come into the game and maybe run the read option, something like that, would you want to do that? And Justin Fields said, no, I could get hurt. To me, we just paid you $30 million. Like, even if you truly believe that you don't want to go do that and you've told the coaches that, don't tell the media that. Like, come on. So now every fan hates Justin Fields. Every fan wants Justin Fields gone. And I'm wondering if this is just like a, hey, let's just put you in the background for a week and we'll let you mysteriously heal up while Tyrod Taylor continues to take the reins and Brady Cook backs you up. So that's a really weird one. Another one that came up is Marcelino McCrary-Ball with that hamstring injury. He did not practice at all this week, so he will be out at linebacker. Now for him, I'm a little annoyed at him with all the penalties he got last week with the personal foul, the roughing the passer, and then doing that weird fish flopping celebration after a kind of like a body slam tackle. So I think he needs a little breather. Obviously, it seems like the injury is pretty serious if he's been out all week in practice. But there's potential that Cam Jones. Now, I don't know if you remember Cam Jones. We signed him off the Chiefs during the offseason when cuts happened. He started playing a few games for us, didn't really start on defense at all. It was more special teams. And then he went on IR with a hip. He may play this week coming off of IR, so he might be a good candidate to fill in for Marcelino McCrary-Ball. I also love Mykal Walker. You haven't heard his name much. He's played a lot on special teams, but he could also step in and replace Marcelino McCrary-Ball as well. So I'm not too worried about linebacker. Our linebacker play has been horrible this whole year, so I don't think losing him is going to be the end of the world. It's you're kind of just dealing with a rotation of players who are average to below average at this point. Next, we actually just heard about this one today. I'm recording in the early afternoon on Saturday. Tony Adams, the safety, he had a groin injury. He didn't practice Wednesday and Thursday and then was full practice on Friday. But just today, they updated their injury report to say Tony Adams is doubtful. So I think that's another reason why they pulled up both Dean and Jordan Clark, because we need someone to play safety. We don't have, is it going to be Isaiah Oliver that plays safety? Is it going to be one of the Clarks that play safety next to Malachi Moore? I don't know. My thing is, I don't think Tony Adams is going to be here next year, so you might as well play the young guys, see what they got, and let Tony Adams rest up for the rest of the year. So that's going to be an interesting one. But I will give Tony Adams some props. He did have a nice sack last game, so props to Tony Adams on a big sack when the two guys that we needed to didn't, in terms of Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. The rest of the injuries, it looks like everyone's going to be okay. Quantez Stiggers had a concussion, but it looks like he was full practice on Friday. He should play. Jermaine Johnson had an ankle. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but he was full on Friday. Will McDonald had an ankle, but he was full on Thursday and Friday. And then Harrison Phillips, who was still dealing with that ankle, he was full both Thursday and Friday, and he hasn't missed a game yet off that injury. So looks like we're going to be full go there across the defensive line, which is great to see. So those are the big injuries on the Jets side. Now, on the Dolphins side, and the final thing on the Jets, Garrett Wilson is still not back from IR. I think this may be, I think he was out for the Patriots, the Ravens, the Falcons, and the Dolphins. So I think he'll be eligible to return to practice next week if he's healthy. Like we've been saying, take your time with Garrett. We don't want this to linger into next year. We don't want him to get more hurt than he already is. So if he can't play, he can't play. It's fine seeing these other guys like A.D. Mitchell and John Mechie play. From the Dolphins side, one of their starting offensive linemen, who is I believe their center, Aaron Brewer, has an ankle, a neck, and a knee. And he was limited on Thursday and Friday. He's questionable. Elijah Campbell, one of their defensive backs, is questionable. And then Afito Melifonwu, who's their new safety that they signed this offseason, he is also questionable, but he was full all week, so I'm imagining he's going to play. So I don't see any major injuries for the Dolphins. Obviously, no Tyreek Hill, because he got hurt out for the year the last time we played him. And then Darren Waller is officially back from, he was on IR for 4 weeks as well, but played last week. So those are the big injuries. Now let's talk about this Dolphins team. Let's talk about this Jets team. Let's talk about offense, defense, special teams, and see where the matchups are that we're going to care about. So on offense, let's talk about the Jets offense. Obviously, no Garrett, so you're going to have A.D. Mitchell, John Mechie. You're going to have Isaiah Williams. I think those are probably going to be our big, Tyler Johnson has disappeared off the planet. We haven't really seen him at all since we've traded for these two wide receivers. So I'm very curious to see how they decide to spread the ball out. Obviously, you still got Mason Taylor, you got Brees, Isaiah Davis, all that good stuff. Arian Smith was a healthy scratch last week, so it sounds like he's just been kind of put on the back burner while we let these other guys go as well. And Lazard has gotten playing time. So, yeah, I think for me, when you look at our Jets offense against the Dolphins defense, when we played the Dolphins last time, they were 0-3, and they had the worst defense in football, probably with us. I think we were giving up 30 points a game, so were they. The Dolphins defense has really turned it around in those past couple weeks. Once they fired the GM, it's like Mike McDaniel just totally took over and kind of switched everything all over. So their defense now was their worst defense in the league against the run. Now they're fifth in the league against the run in the past 6 games. So their defensive tackles, it was Jordan Phillips and Kenneth Grant, have both really stepped up and are very stout in the middle. Kenneth Grant was an iffy first-round pick for them this past year, and it looks like he's playing a lot better, which is good for them. Their linebacker, Jordan Brooks, has like 135 tackles already this year, which is absolutely insane with, 5-6 games to go. So he's an absolute machine. Minka Fitzpatrick, their safety's playing a lot better. I think their corners have been okay. I think a lot of people are really hyping them up. I would call them okay. I don't think they're like stud corners or anything like that. And then our old buddy Ashton Davis is back there at safety too. So obviously some familiar faces. They obviously still have Bradley Chubb, but they traded away Phillips from the last time we played him. He's now on the Eagles. So I think their defense is going to be a little bit tougher to play against than we thought. So for me, running up the middle is probably not the way to go with Breece. I would say you got to get him out to the outside with them and really challenge Jordan Brooks to run sideline to sideline. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Obviously, I want to feed Mechie as much as possible. He's been getting open left and right. Hopefully, he can come back from those drops that he had last week. I think that's going to be big in this game. And then A.D. Mitchell, I want to see him continue to push that momentum from last week where he had over 100 yards and a touchdown with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. And Tyrod's probably going to have to run around a little bit. That's what he's been doing, and it seems like he's still got a little bit of a pep in his step, even though he's 36, 37 years old. So it's good to see him run around and make some plays with his feet to get us some first downs. Now, for me, the way I look at this is Breece Hall needs to get more touches. Like last week, he was kind of used as a decoy. I would like to see him get 20-plus touches in this game. That means not only running the ball, but also out of the backfield, catching passes. Once again, we've said it so many times, and we just continue to not do it. He should have more than 4 or 5 catches a game. When you look at the Dolphins side of the ball, that's exactly what they do with Devon Achane. Achane I think he has 6 rushing touchdowns and 4 receiving touchdowns. He gets over 25 touches a game in both the passing and receiving game, which is exactly how you should use your RB1, who's the best player on your offense. So I think we need to start doing that with Breece Hall. All right, looking at the defense against their offense. So once again, Devon Achane, he's the man. You got to be able to stop the run. This is going to be a big game for Jawan Briggs, for Harrison Phillips. Let's see what they can do in the middle. And then can our linebackers make any sort of plays in the passing game? And that's not only with Achane, but that also means with Darren Waller. Darren Waller toasted us last time we played him. He had 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, Kyle Pitts toasted us last week. So, where is the linebacker play when it comes to this passing game? Where is our slot corner play without Jarvis Brownlee? Who's going to be the guy that steps up? So I'm really looking at who is going to stop Darren Waller because he's a huge mismatch, and who's going to stop Devon Achane. Those are the 2 big guys. I think we could stop Waddle. Waddle's super fast. If you just double him, you're going to be fine. I also love the way that Azareye'h Thomas is playing. He's been playing really physical. And I think Brandon Stevens has actually been one of the better players on defense, even though I wanted him off the team by week 3 because he looked so bad. So can they stick with Waddle? I think we're going to be okay there. It's really Achane and Waller that I'm most worried about. Now, the big thing, their offensive line, I think one side of their offensive line is really solid. The other side of their offensive line really isn't. So the left side of the line has been playing really well. So you got Patrick Paul, Jonas Savanaia, who is I think it was a 2nd-round pick this year. He had a really shaky start to the year, but has gotten a lot better. Aaron Brewer's the center, and he is on the injury report, so we'll see if he actually plays. It'd be big if he doesn't. But that right side is a place where you can take advantage. So that's where I want to see Juwan Briggs, Michael Clemens, I can't believe I'm saying that, but Michael Clemens, and Jermaine Johnson, who typically play on that side, to take advantage of those matchups. So Jermaine Johnson, we need a big game. He's kind of been quiet the last couple weeks, doing some stuff in the run game, but not a ton of sacks. We need to see the sack numbers go up, especially against a quarterback like Tua. Now let's talk about Tua. How many Dolphins fans are now regretting the decision to extend Tua? The contract looks absolutely awful. He's playing the worst year of his career. He's leading the league in interceptions with 14. He just looks like a mess. And if you look at the way the offense is running, Mike McDaniel is actually doing everything humanly possible to stop Tua from being the focus of the offense. Whether it's giving the ball to Achane, getting the ball out of his hands quick, all that kind of stuff, where Tua doesn't have to be the guy to make the big play. Now, there have been a couple instances where for some reason Tua just pushes the ball down the field, which has led him to trouble. So if there's one game that our defense can get an interception, it's the guy who has the most interceptions in the league that we're playing against. So this is the moment. Can we finally do it? Please. It's week 14? We still don't have an interception. So this is our chance. And it's going to be cold. He's not going to like it. I'm excited to see what we can do against Tua Tagovailoa. And the craziest part about playing him, fun fact, the New York Jets have never beaten Tua. Never. Once in our history have we beaten Tua. We're always playing a backup quarterback where we end up beating them. That's how we've beaten the Dolphins in the past, but it's never Tua. So this might be the last time he's the quarterback of the Dolphins. So this is our last chance to actually beat him. So we'll see how that goes. And then who knows, maybe you see a little glimpse of Zach Wilson if Tua gets banged up a little bit in this game. So that's the offense. That's the defense. Special teams. There is no team you could put me up against that I would say that we are not the better special teams. Special teams has won us multiple games this year. If you look at DVOA is this new scoring methodology that can compare different units on different teams across all these different metrics of analytics. And if you look historically, the Jets special teams right now is the third best special teams unit in NFL history. The people you're competing against is the Bears with Devin Hester. That's how good this special teams unit is. We consistently down people with inside the 10 with our punting game. Our kickers missed one kick this entire year and has not missed, I don't believe he's missed an extra point. Our kick returners have an average of 40 yards a kick return. So we're starting past the 35 every single time we return a kick. And then our punt return game is one of the best in the league. And then Austin McNamara, shout out to him, he was named Special Teams Player of the Month. So special teams is just out of control. I know that Nick Folk is 42 or however old he is. I'd give him another year. I'd extend him. Obviously, Austin McNamara is a rookie. I'd give him a longer-term deal. I know Nwanwu and Isaiah Williams are two of the best returners in football. Nwanwu is the active leader in the NFL in kick return touchdowns. He's not far off the all-time lead for kick return touchdowns. So they're two guys that you need to spend those roster spots on. They have to be on the team. So I feel so good about special teams, and I'm excited to see if they do anything to actually, win us this game or create a big play. We had another turnover last week, but it was on special teams. So our defense can't get turnovers, so our special teams has to do it for us. Oh, and also my guy, one of my favorite players on the team, Quantez Stiggers, is probably the best punt gunner in all of football. Can you imagine if we had Irv Charles? He's not even playing, and he was one of the best gunners in football. It's just unbelievable. I love Stiggers. I love what they're doing. I think it's a great special teams unit. And then even Chris Boyd. Remember, he's the guy we signed off the Texans to be a special teamer for us. He just got shot a couple of weeks ago. I heard he actually came to the facility and talked to the team, which I heard was very inspirational, which was great. But he's not even playing. So imagine if we had these guys who are actually built for special teams playing in these games. But man, the special teams unit, I freaking love them. All right, let's get to my 3 keys to a Jets victory. I wrote them down somewhere. Maybe they're in my head. We're good. All right, so the first one. Devon Achane is their entire offense in terms of big plays. He's going to get the most touches. He's fast. He's just the guy. So my thing is, can we hold him under 100 combined yards? That means receiving yards and rushing yards. That is a very tall task. I think that's a probably more aggressive one that I've actually put out there in the past. Maybe 125 is probably better, but I'm going to stick with 100 because it's in the cold. I really want to win. They're going to run the ball like crazy. So can we stop them and play a really physical game there? So Devon Achane under 100 yards. That's number one. Number two, I want Breece Hall to be treated like Devon Achane, which means I'm going with Breece Hall over 20 touches. The more Breece touches the ball, the more good things happen. Let's give Breece the ball. And when I say 20 touches, that's both in the passing and running game combined. So you got to think 15 rushes, 5 receptions, something like that. 17 rushes, 4 or 5 catches, then you're good. That's what I'm looking for. And then finally, the last piece, and I've said this for like 10 straight weeks, and it still hasn't come true, but I'm going to keep saying it until it comes true. Can we get an interception? Our defense has to get a pick. If we get a pick, we will win, because that's what Tua does. Tua throws interceptions. So we'll see how it all goes. Now let's get to my prediction. So I've said this before. The Jets are 0-1 this year against the Miami Dolphins. We're home. It's a rivalry game. It's the cold. The Dolphins don't like the cold. It's Tua, who we've never beaten before. And the Jets have won 3 out of 5. The Dolphins have won 4 out of 5. Dam's got to break somewhere. Who's going to be the one that does it? So for me, I am going to go with suspense. We're going to ride high. I feel good about where we're at. I feel good about Aaron Glenn. I feel good about Tyrod Taylor. I like these new wide receivers. I love Jawan Briggs. I need Jermaine and Will McDonald to get some sacks. We're going to get an interception. I think Breece is going to get the ball a lot. Mason Taylor is going to have a few catches. Special teams can win this game for us. I think the Jets are going to win this football game. And the score is going to be the Jets 24, the Dolphins 21. And I am excited. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be cheering my little heart out. It's supposed to be like 30 to 40 degrees out, so not great conditions for a Tua Tagovailoa, I'll tell you that. So I'm calling for a Jets victory. This is the second week in a row I'm calling for a Jets victory, which is very rare in the last 15 years. So it feels good to say it. Feels good to get it off your chest. So going with the Jets win, 24-21 at MetLife. Jet fans are going to go home happy. Now, the big deal, though, if the Jets do win, this causes a lot of problems in Tankathon land. So if you are a Jets fan who wants the team to lose, which is not me, I want the team to win. I think we need a divisional win under our belt. This is probably going to hurt our draft stock. If you go to 4-9, you could be in the 8 to 12 range. I've got Tankathon pulled up right now. But the good news is a lot of these teams still play each other. We play the Saints. Cleveland plays the Saints. I think Vegas has to play one of these bad teams. I think it was, who was it? It was Washington has to play Minnesota this week. So Washington could win and that can move us back up the board. So there's a lot of things that can shake out. Right now, once again, we are pick number 7 in the draft. For me, we have so many picks in the arsenal that we can always move up if we need to. Now, today's a huge day. If you're listening to this, it's on Saturday. It's a huge day for Jets fans. 2 of the potential quarterbacks that could be playing for the New York Jets next year are in massive, massive games today. So you got Ty Simpson in Alabama going up against Georgia in the SEC championship game. We don't know yet if Ty Simpson is going to declare for the NFL draft or if he's going to go back to Alabama for another year. I imagine if they make some sort of a run and he looks good over these next couple weeks in the college football playoffs, he will declare. But we just don't know yet. So he's a big one you got to watch out for. And I think you should just watch him to see if you like him. Like, is he a guy you want to see be the quarterback of your team? So you bet I'm going to be on the couch most of the today watching this. Number 2, you got Fernando Mendoza in Indiana playing against the number 1 team in the country in Ohio State. And they also have probably one of the best defenses in college football history out there in their championship game. So we'll see how Mendoza plays. I would also say watch the Ohio State, just watch their whole team. They've got some great receivers like Carnell Tate. They've got some great defenders that could all go in the first. There's like 5 of them that can go in the first round of this draft, and we've got 2 first-round picks. So you got to imagine someone from Ohio State is going to fall off the board into our lap. And Connor Rogers from Badlands, NBC, all that stuff, he said he bets that the Jets will take 1 player from Ohio State in the first round next year or in 2026. So it's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to sit down, watch it all. And then, of course, I'm going to be excited to go to the Jets game tomorrow. As you can see, if you're watching this on YouTube, I am glassesless, so I can actually see the Jets play tomorrow. It's going to be great. Eyes wide open. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone, and maybe we just start a little win streak here with my vision intact. So I'm very excited. If you guys can you please follow, like, rate, review, subscribe, all the good things across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's JuicyJet25. Thank you all for listening. We'll be in Lot K for tailgating tomorrow if you're going to the game. I sit in the back of the end zone in 149 if you want to come say hi. And hopefully you have a good day tomorrow. Looks like there won't be any rain. Fingers crossed. And I will talk to everybody on Monday after the game. Go Jets.